In the Navigation tab, you specify how pagination will happen on the page. What that means is that typically there is a next button on the page where there is more data to be extracted. And in this case, the next button is right here. I will now use the Shift key to identify the next button. And again, I can expand the selected area or contract the selected area. And as suggested by this text right here, I will now select the class that maps to this button. As you can now see, it has selected the search button and the next button, which is undesirable because I only want to select the next button. I can now use the sibling tab to specify exactly which button I want. There, now it has selected the next button. However, there is another way I can hone in on the next button. I would deselect the siblings and now go to the Contains tab and specify that the text of the button should contain the word next. And there, now you can see it has selected the desirable next button. Now that the appropriate next button is selected, I can specify the click behavior. This means how long should I wait before clicking next? And then also, how many times should I click next? If I don't specify a max clicks, it will click all the way to the end until the next button doesn't exist anymore. Here, I will specify the max clicks to be 5. And I will specify that it should wait 2 seconds before clicking next every time. Specifying a wait time helps give the page enough time to load. Sometimes the page requires scrolling before the data loads, and for these scenarios we want to use the Scroll tab. In the Scroll tab, we can specify how fast we want to scroll, whether we want to scroll slowly or fast. And then we can also specify for how long to scroll for. If you don't specify a time here, it will scroll until it reaches the bottom of the page. It is important to note that as the page is scrolling, it is also extracting data. While it is extracting data, Gravely will make sure not to extract the same rows over and over again. It will only extract unique rows. Here, to show you an example, I will specify a time of 4 seconds. And to show you how it works, I can click the test button. But before I do that, I will make sure that the next button is not selected. Notice it is scrolling for 4 seconds and then it stops. Since we don't need scrolling on this page, I will remove it. The last tab is the jQuery tab, which then basically compiles all of the information you provided into this single jQuery selector.